So how have you been?
I've been good, real good.
Good. Now, so this last year's been kind of crazy. Things are starting to come back. So let's talk about KK's Priest. So you're kind of like, in a way, almost coming full circle because years ago, you got the call to sing for Judas Priest, and now here you are getting the call, from Ken. So tell us a little bit about this journey and how this, KK's Priest gig kind of came about.
Well, in 2019, KK went to the show, Bloodstock. He did a guest appearance with Ross the Boss, and I think it kind of got a little bit of the juices flowing. And then some friends, David Ellefson and some other friends. David was going to play, I know, a show at Ken's venue, KK Steel Mill, and asked if KK wanted to be involved. And then they decided to do a show, and they called me, and it was so awesome. It was such a great show. AJ was on the other guitar, and Les Spinks was on the drums on that one. And I think it really got him like, man, this could be really cool. But I think when he found out Judas Priest 50th, he wasn't going to be involved with that. They didn't want him to be involved with the Judas Priest 50th. I think that's when he was like, all right, well, if that's not going to happen, then I'll do my own thing. And I think that's what got it going on. So, the beginning of 2020, he started, giving me some ideas he was writing. And then I was doing a tour in the UK with the Three Tremors. And he came out to my show. We sat in the car. This was probably February. We sat in my car and listened to the tunes. And I was like, and AJ had put guide vocal like tracks on these songs. And he sings unbelievable. I mean, man, oh man, can he sing. And I loved what I heard. It sounded just, you could tell Ken had written the songs, and you could tell Ken had written the songs for me to sing. These were his ideas, but it sounded so great. So it really started rolling, and fortunately I was able to fly to England, and the drummer was able to fly to England right before COVID trapped everybody. I mean, I came home like March 14th, 15th, and I think the drummer flew in right after that. So he got his drums done and got out of there. So we were able to get things recorded.
Awesome. So it wasn't delayed at all, really, because of the COVID, as far as the actual process of the album.
Yeah, recording it got delayed after we recorded it because, you don't want to release a record when you can't tour or do press, right. So that's what all of a sudden people are like, wait a minute, I thought you guys released it. I'm like, well, the world shut down.
Right.
The world shut down. No, if a record label wants to put a record out that's a new band like us, then that's not a label you would want, because we're not an established band. We need, and they know that we need to tour, we need to do it right. So it took a lot longer than we wanted. But in the meantime, I re-sang a couple of the vocal parts in my home studio. We changed some things around. Ken reworked some of the songs. So Ken was really busy. A big example is the song Sermons of the Sinner. The song originally was a lot raspier. It was a heavier attack, a heavy, raspy, nasty attack. And I decided to clean. Ken said, let's try it this way. So in my home studio, I sang the song cleaner, the verses a lot cleaner, and changed that. So it gave us some time to not rush it, Yeah.
Put the little touches on it and get it ready to go. Talking about that title track, Sermons of the Sinner, a little bit, kind of ties in a little bit with the cover of the album and that kind of thing. So is it really supposed to be Ken on that album cover?
Well, I guess it's anybody's imagination. I mean, I think it would probably have to say yes. Let me look at the cover again and tell you for sure. But yeah, I think that's what's great about this. I think you can tell with that it's him giving the sermon right there, in my opinion. Now, you leave things to imagination, and I think the story will unfold even more. Things will will be told, characters come out, the sinner character, all these things are starting to happen. But this is Ken being, in my opinion, you got, everybody looks at it different. My opinion, even listening to the songs and when he wrote the songs, this is Ken being able to be Ken. This is him doing what he's done for 40, 50 years with Judas Priest. He's only lived Judas Priest. He's written those songs. He's writing just like he's always written. He's writing just like himself, but it's himself being able to go, this is me. And I'm going to preach it. I'm going to stand here and preach what I'm doing.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt that the songs, sound similar to Judas Priest. He was Judas Priest for 40 years and it's always going to be a part of him. But also, it gives him a chance where he doesn't have anybody holding him back and saying, well, no, we're not going to do it this way. Because when you're in a big band like Judas Priest, you've got all those other members who want their say and you kind of have to give and take a little bit. Now he's free to kind of push his limits and where he wants to go with it. And I just think it's a great album. I loved everything that I've heard.
Yeah, I do too. And I agree with you. I think that's the thing that makes it so great. And I think, when people compare to Judas Priest, there's always going to be the comparison because you're talking about the guy that wrote the songs in Judas Priest for 40 years or whatever he did while he was in it. That's all he's ever done. I mean, he's written songs like that. The difference now is you can see what influences and what part of Judas Priest he really had because it's all over this record because that's how he writes. This is how he writes. He wrote songs to make himself happy and to do what he knows how to do. That's what he did. He didn't go and to make the fans that are his fans happy. And it's all over it because that's how he writes. And vocally, what always gets me is when someone says to me, man, why are you trying to sound? Listen, I don't try to sound like anybody. I've been singing for 30 years. If you've never listened to my career from Winter's Bane to every record I've done, and you try to think I'm trying to sound like somebody, this is how my voice is. My voice is pretty versatile. And that's why people sometimes go, well, you sound like Ronnie, you sound like Rob, you sound like this guy. Well, that's because my voice, it's like a shapeshifter, of voices. If I think of voice, and listen, I just did this record for a band called Pyramid. They're a progressive hard rock band, heavy metal band. And I get to use all my voice levels because the albums have so much light and shade, just like KK's Priest. Mellow vocals, heavy vocals. But there's moments where all of a sudden my buddy's like, dude, you sound like David Bowie there. I'm like, that's because that's what the song is. That's what this song brings that out of you, Right. I get influenced in my vocal career from singers like John Oliva, Ronnie James Dio, Rob Halford, where I always said they sang in characters. It's a musical. It's a giant musical. You can sing however you want. So, and that's what KK's Priest is about. It makes you go into it and you just belt it out. Whatever the song needs, that's what you do. You don't go into it going, I'm going to sing this song like this guy, or this is the guy I want to sound like. You just belt it out. And so when somebody says, I'm trying to sound like someone, when someone says he needs to be his own person, I'm like, oh my God, would you stop it? I'm staying for 30 years. I've made 20 records or whatever and written so many of them, and stop saying that, will you?
So what has the response been so far to the new song and the band in general?
Well, as far as I can see, it's been good. I'm certain that it's going to get attacked on other pages that people just usually do attack things on. I'm guessing, some of the social media outlets and some of the web pages have probably went after it. But I'll tell you how you can tell that's all those sites do anyways, is because if you go to the YouTube versions of the song, if you go to the YouTube version of Hellfire Thunderbolt, 99% of the responses, maybe even more, are really good. They're really, really good. And YouTube isn't, that's a universal thing. People go there to hate people too, but it's more people of like, they just go there to listen to it and they'll tell you whether they like it or not. Other sites, sometimes people just go to those pages and and just want to hate, but it's been really, really amazing. Really amazing, the response.
That's good. I love the album. I got a chance to listen to it, and I don't understand the haters on any aspect, because I think there's always room out there for everybody's music. And if you don't dig it, move on. And if you do, that's great. And, jump on board. So I hope that people do not judge it, or prejudge it rather, before they get the chance to listen to it fully and make a decision based on what it is, and not any preconceived notions that they might have, because they'd be missing out on some great stuff.
It is funny because, here's the thing. They go into this going, that's going to be, it's another Judas Priest. Well, it's not another Judas Priest. It's KK's Priest. There's a Judas Priest. This is KK's Priest. We're our own band, or it would be called KK's Judas Priest. But they'll hear a song like Sermons in the Center and go, oh, they're trying to sound like, that drums beginning sounds like Painkiller. Well, then you could probably say it sounds like, Exciter, or you could say it sounds like, this, that, and the other. Or they'll go, listen, that's like Halford vocals. When I did the song Scream Machine with Beyond Fear, no one ever said that. They're like, Ripper rules on this song, or I don't like high notes, but they never said it when it was this exact same type of song. People just go into things, like you said, that they don't go in with any other thing than whether they say they're going to like it, or there has been a lot of people with this that said, I didn't think I was going to like it like I like it. Yeah. I didn't, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. And I think so too. I mean, the sound, the quality, the artwork, the songs, everything is really good. If it's not your cup of tea, which I've seen a few reviews from guys like, I hate high note singing. Well, then, okay. I mean, you're not going to like it. Or someone said, I hate Hellfire Thunderbolt. I hope the rest of the album's not like this. And I just responded back to the guy, well, you might want to wait till the next record then, because this is heavy metal, and I'm sorry, but that's all right. I get it. You don't have to like it, just don't go to hate and not even give it a chance. But I tell you what, the reviews of it have been amazing. The responses, the first listens on YouTube, you go listen to the first listens or whatever they call that, and they've all been really good.
It's a very cool album. I like the whole package. It takes me back a little bit, but it doesn't sound dated. So it's got that classic heavy metal feel to it. And I just get into it and it plays like a whole album, which is what I like too. You can start from the very first intro song to the end, the Return of the Sentinel, and just, bang the whole thing out at one time.
Yeah, and it goes kind of quick. I mean, the thing is, there's a couple long songs on it, but those songs go quick, and there's a lot of great parts in it that sometimes you go, well, that long song won't be very good live, but those songs will be good live. And I thanks for saying that, because I think it does. It has a lot of great things going on.
Yeah, I think those long songs actually can be some of the most epic songs live.
You nailed it.
To hear that one.
You nailed it with epic. One of my favorite songs in the record is The Return of the Sentinel. I love the Return of the Sentinel from the first guitar riff to the very ending, where it reminds me of Rock-a-Rolla. So it does. It's heavy metal. There's parts that are tongue in cheek. There's parts that are serious. It's got everything there, and it's going to have throwbacks to the old school, and then it moves forward. Yeah, it's what it should be. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's not rocket science. It's musicians who are doing what they've done for years. Why change? Why would we ever change now, and try to do something that's, out of the box? I mean, we are in a box. We do what we do. Let's do it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, amen to that. Absolutely. Now, being that things are kind of opening up now, do you guys have plans to hit the road at all, or anything in the works?
Definitely. I think we definitely want to do as much as we can. We're just kind of waiting to see when. I mean, that's in the management's hands. They're working their tails off, the management and the record label. They're working really hard to try to plan stuff out, but it's hard. I mean, the drummer and I are flying to England on Monday, and it's hard just to do that. So going and doing a tour, you got to get, you would have to get tested every you know, if you're in the UK doing a tour, we'd have to get tested every 8 days. I got to get tested within 3 days of going, fill out a bunch of paperwork, pre-order a test when I get there for 2 days later. If I'm there 8 days, I got to get another test. Then I got to test back at the air before I fly home. So it's, and I've been vaccinated, and that means nothing. Vaccinations right now mean nothing at all. So everybody thinking that they're going to check your vaccines and that's how we're going to go through life. As of now, they don't even care about them.
Yeah. So I could see it being a logistical nightmare, especially if anything would go wrong on a testing or anything. It just adds to the logistics of the touring in general and problems that can ensue. So hopefully they'll get everything figured out soon enough. And
yes, it is doable though. I mean, everyth's starting to be doable. I just played, America's, if we did a tour in America, that could be done. Right now. And I think everywhere, I think UK probably soon you could do a tour. I have no problem. I didn't have a problem getting vaccinated. I don't have a problem getting tested. I don't have a problem wearing a mask when I have to. I'll do whatever I got to do to get music out there. And I'm not going to cry about it. I mean, I get worse feelings when I eat at the local Mexican place than I do from that stuff. So, that's a joke. My local Mexican place is fantastic. Anyways, really, it's going to happen, and they're working really, really hard on it. I mean, obviously, in 2022, the goal would be definitely to be touring through probably that whole year. I could be gone the whole year, but I don't see why we can't get some dates and some tours and some specials, and do some things here pretty soon. Some of these countries will be in a good spot where we could hit those markets.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to when you do make it tour stops here in the States, because I'd love to hear some of these songs live. I mean, I'd love to hear all of them live, but there's a few that I just, like you said, the Return of the Sentinel, that's going to be epic live. So if you have any say on what's going to go into the set list when you guys do tour, please make sure that's included in it.
Yo, definitely. I hope Return of the Sentinel, Raise Your Fists. Brothers of the Road, you can hear that live. It's straightforward, and you could definitely hear Brothers of the Road. But yeah, I mean, just imagine opening the show with Hellfire Thunderbolt. I mean, how killer would that be? I think the goal is, and Ken said it from the start, when you talk, people are like, what are you going to play? He's going to go out and play Old Priest. All he's talked about is playing this record.
Awesome.
That's all he's talked about. I can't wait to play this record. I'm like, hey, we got to play some from my era, like Burning Hell and One on One. But he can't wait to get out and play this, and same with me. I can't wait to see it. It's a great band. I mean, Tony and AJ and Sean. I mean, they're friends and they're great musicians. So it's going to be fun.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys when you do start the tour, and I can't wait till everybody gets a chance to hear the record, because I know that if they give it a chance, they're going to love it. I absolutely adore it. It's great from start to finish. Are you guys, I didn't ask, but are you releasing it at all on vinyl? Is there any plans for that?
It is. It's on vinyl. You can pre-order it. You can go to the KK's Priest website, and you can go to Explorer One is the record label. And it's on vinyl. There's even signed vinyls being sold.
Sweet. Well, we'll make sure we put all those links up so everybody can get a chance to click on there and check them out. I
would pre-order them as soon as I can. With the vinyls, I know they had to do a second run of a lot of that stuff from the original release, and I know there's different colored ones and things like that. But yeah, the vinyl. Well, I mean, there's no way you could release something nowadays without releasing it on vinyl. I mean, that's just so yeah. There's special ones. So everybody, there's merchandise on the page. You can pre-order the CD, all that stuff. So go to check KK's Priest page, and it'll be there. Awesome. Thanks so much, Ripper, for taking the time to talk with us today. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you guys out on tour. Thanks, Chris. Thanks a lot, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Absolutely. Have a good one. All right. Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.